Yeah, let's start the class. Same Boltzmann extractor. Once again, I'm just explaining. So the Boltzmann extractor, as you can see, there will be a conveyor and some baskets or some bucket will be called. So these buckets will be revolving in anti-clockwise. So as soon as the solids are fled from this hopper, this is called hopper. So feed hopper. So dry solid flakes, or we can call this one seeds, okay, oil seeds. Then these oil seeds will be just falling on these buckets, and these buckets will be carrying, or baskets will be carrying these solids. Then these baskets are once reached this left side. So here the pure solvent contacting region is there. From the storage tank of pure solvent, it will be just sprayed on these solids. Then a dilute amount of oil, oil whatever the leached oil is there from the solids, it will be just going to the solvent. So the dilute amount of oil plus solvent is called as a half micellar or micellar. So this half micellar will be just falling at 0.4, and from here, using some pump, it will be, this half micellar will be just stored in the top side, behind the hopper, okay, feed hopper. Then here, after the storage, it will be just sprayed onto the next buckets which are on the left side, or a baskets on the left side. So as this dilute amount of this pure solvent, or dilute amount of this oil in pure solvent, which is called as a half micellar, is contacted with this fresh solid, what happens, the maximum amount of oil will be leached out from the solid seeds. Then that will be said to as concentrated solution of oil in solvent, which is also called as a micellar. So to some extent, in this micellar, a small tiny particles or fine particles of solids will also be there. So the here the main idea behind this is, pure solvent has to be contacted with this solids which are already spent, which are about to spend. This will be contacted. Then the already whatever the spent pure solvent is there, spent solvent is there, which is called as a half micellar, has to be contacted with the fresh solids. Then the maximum efficiency of this leaching process will be determined at that point. So the solids, after leaching all this one, the spent solids will be called as a mark, M-A-R-C, mark. It will be called as a mark. So the pure solvent, the dilute amount of oil in pure solvent is called as a half micellar, and the concentrated solution of oil in this solvent, plus including the small tiny particles of, or refined particles of solids, is called as a micellar. Then the left out solids or inert solids after extracting the oil is called as a mark, M-A-R-C, mark. So this, if you can see, the solids, the solvent or this micellar will be of spray type. Okay, only spray is possible here. So this is moving bed. So the solids are moving solid bed, moving solid bed type of extractor this is. Then the spray method operation. The operation here is only solvent is just spraying or sprinkling or trickling, we can call it. Then the next one is Hildebrand extractor. In this extractor, if you can see, this is also a moving extractor. So solids will be fed at the right side, from which through this screw conveyor. You might have seen this type of screw conveyor in mechanical unit operation. So as soon as this solids are fed inside this one, these solids will be carried through this screw conveyor to the other section which is there in the left side. So the solvent which is there will be immersed. The solids which are there inside this one will be immersed by this solvent. Whereas in the previous case, it is not the case. The solvent is not at all there in the entire column of this Boltzmann extractor, but only sprayed on the solids of the bucket, solids which are there on the buckets or these baskets. But here the full immersion is possible. The solvents are fully immersed on this, the solids are fully immersed using this solvent. As soon as this solvent will reach to the maximum overflow, from this the solution, the overflow solution will be getting outside. So that solution is nothing but oil and solvent. So the solids will be carried out to this next section, and subsequently to the extracted meal section, or output of the extracted meal or nothing but spent solids. So through the screw conveyor. then the solvents will be just flowing down to the gravity, and then due to the overflow, it will be reaching to the top of this right section. From this overflow, due to the outlet, the oil and solvent, it is just left out from this right section. So this is called as a solution section, oil and solvent. So these two are the continuous extractor types or continuous leaching types. So these are many times they are asking in old question papers, these two extractor. Okay, I hope you understood. If anybody is having doubt until now, it will be welcome. So otherwise we will start this analytical chapter, analytical part of this unit. So analytical part of this unit will be very critical. So before that, I want to know the theory part, whether you understood or not. If you have any doubt, we can spend one more class also on this. Please reveal more. Can somebody please respond?
Sir, continue, sir.
Okay, until now it is okay.
Sir, okay, sir.
Now we will see. Until now, this is only a theory part. Okay, only the conceptual part. What are the concepts involved? Practical part will be there, where calculation, problems, derivations will be coming into existence. So the nomenclature is very, very, very important in this one. If you know the nomenclature, you can do the material balance. Then only you can calculate the stages or the single stage operation. You can calculate the flow rates in various streams. Okay. Now this, if you see this first single stage operation, this in the first class itself I have explained what is going inside and what is getting outside. For example, if you see, this is the leaching operation or a single stage operation, you can say. The feed will be entered. As an example, if you take the oil seeds extraction, since you have seen this in CT2, so oil seeds, if the oil seeds are there, so the major or the main aim of this oil seed, operation of leaching is to extract the oil from the oil seeds, is the main aim. So how to extract that oil? To extract that oil from the oil seeds, we have to give some other solvent, so that the solvent will be dissolving this solute component or a oil component which is present in the solids or a seeds. Then that solvent which is there, which dissolve this solute component or a oil, will be just coming into the overflow, or we can call this as a raffinate, or it is called as a solution phase, or it can be called as a solvent rich phase. Then solvent plus solute or a oil is coming in one stream, which is this phase, raffinate or overflow or solution or solvent rich phase. Then whatever the left out solids are there, the solid content which is there initially, so B will be the solid content. So this solid content initially, whatever is there, so all the solid contents will be coming into this stream, which is called extract stream or underflow stream or leached solid streams, or we can say solvent lean stream. So very less amount of solvent will be there, and very less amount of this one solute will be there, or oil will be there. But here very high amount of solvent will be there, and a very high amount of solute or oil will be there inside this one. Because of this is called as solvent rich phase, and this is called solvent lean phase. Okay, solvent less phase, we can say. So in the ideal case, this is what happening. So in the feed solids, there will be B plus C, inert solids will be there. Solids are composed of inert solid which is not at all soluble, plus some solute component which is there inside that one. So B plus C is the feed solid composition. Then a third solvent, okay, apart from these two components B plus C, a third component called as a solvent is adding, so that this C solvent, whatever the A solvent is there, A has to be just dissolve this C and come outside. So A plus C, it has to be come outside under the ideal. What happened in the non-ideal case of the industrial operation, some part of the solids can also result in this one, some part of the solute can also result in this one, some part of the inert solids can be resulted in this one, some part of the inert solids can be resulted in this one. When we are not using the pure solvent, what happens, some part of the inert solids or some part of the solute already may exist in the solvent, but as far as our calculation, this is the nomenclature we will apply. So our nomenclature will be like this. So A, the alphabet A will be used to denote the pure solvent. Okay, weight of pure solvent is nothing but alphabet A, and alphabet B will be inert solids, the weight of inert solids in kgs. So B will be weight of inert solids. Then letter alphabet C is soluble solute. Okay, soluble solute, nothing but oil in the case of oil seeds. The soluble solute, whatever is there, it will be denoted with C. So this is the nomenclature. Weight of soluble solute is C, weight of inert solids is B, and weight of pure solvent is A. So this is the nomenclature we have to apply. Then next comes to the notation scheme. So this nomenclature, if you understand, it will be better. So for example, yes, Ravi.
F is equals to B plus T, sir.
Ravi, sorry, your
Feed is
voice
equal
is breaking. B
Sir,
plus
feed is to
equal
B
to
plus T, sir.
sir.
feed is equal to
B plus C, sir.
yes, feed solids. Okay, in order to omit the existence of B,
Feed.
because B is inert solid, it will present in every stream. Okay, the weight of this B will not be varying, because only our major role is to dissolve C only. So in order to omit that B, we have to change our nomenclature. Okay, notation scheme we have to change. For example, C, this one. So this is solid or seeds, we can say. Seeds or solids. So these seeds or solid are composed of solute. So solute, I am just denoting with this one. Solute, and some inert parts will be there. Okay, inert. Okay, which is not at all participating in any solution reaction, or solution we can say. Here reaction is not there, only solubilization is there. So now what happens, a third component which is called as a solvent has to come into the operation, and this solvent I am indicating with this one. So this solvent has to mix up with this solute, and output of this solution is this one, solvent plus this solute. But inerts, if you see, this inerts will be there, it will be taken into separate stream. So inert solid. So this is inert. If you see the material balance, the solid content, if inert solid content is, if you see this overall seeds, weight of this seeds is 100 kg. In this one, weight of inert is some 90 kg, and weight of oil or solute, we can say, is equal to 10 kg. But inert itself, if you see, inert, meaning of the inert is, it is not at all participating in any of this operation. So this 90 kg, whatever is there, if input is containing 90 kg of inert, then output will also contain 90 kg of inert. So this inert will not have any role to play in the leaching operation. So in order to omit this leaching inert content from the leaching operation, our nomenclature will be changed in such a way that, see, ideally if you consider, our feed is B plus C, because B is equal to inerts, C is equal to this solute, A is equal to solvent. Okay, ideally if you see, feed has to be this one, B plus C. Okay, but the role of B is very limited in this one. Only our concentration is entirely on C and entirely on A. Then only our material balance will be very easy. Otherwise, if you say take F is equal to B plus C, then material balance terminology will be very highly, we have to involve many other parameters also inside that one. So in order to keep that one, feed we are considering, feed is same, this one is same, but feed notation we have changing in such a way that feed F is equal to how many kgs of A will be there, so solvent will be there, plus how many kgs of solute will be there. So okay, this we are taking as a feed. Is it okay now? Yeah. Okay, F plus A plus C. The same notation scheme we are applying for every output stream or every input stream. So this only we are concerned only about A plus C. How much this content is there. Because of this we are applying the material balance. Now I will apply the material balance, then you come to know clearly. Yeah. So this you see, this one is leaching operation. So there are 4 streams in the leaching operation. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We are calling this as a input stream, as a feed stream, and next stream is the solvent stream, and third stream is a solution stream, or we can call it as a raffinate stream or overflow stream, or we can call it as a solvent rich stream. Okay, all these names, all this terminology are the same. The solution stream, then this is inert solid stream or inert stream we can call. So these are the 4 streams which are involved in the leaching operation. Now our notation scheme is, we already know notation scheme. A is solvent, B is inert, C is solute or oil we can say. So these are the notation scheme. Now our nomenclature is, we have to define in such a way that we should omit B from this one. So feed we are considering how many kgs of solvent plus how many kgs of solute is there, is defined with F, with the notation F. Kgs of solvent plus kgs of solute together in a combination will be known as F. This is the notation scheme, first notation scheme. In order to take care of this solute content, only the solute content, we are applying mass fraction. So this will be in kg, this units will be in kg. So mass fraction of solute in feed stream is denoted by YF. So this is C by A plus C on B free basis. Okay, we have to omit B from that one because its weight will be remaining throughout the operation, its weight will be same. If it is 90 kg in the initial input, then in the output also it will be 90 kg. If it is 20 kg, then output also 20 kg. It is not at all going to vary. Because of that, we have to omit that one. So these units are kg per kg. So no units for this one. Then in order to take care of the solids, inert solid content in this one, we are denoting with NF. So weight of, so this is weight fraction, or we can say weight ratio of this one inert solids in feed. So weight ratio of inert solid in feed means weight ratio is individual weight of B. B means inert solids divided by with respect to solution C. So this is F is nothing but solution. So initially, what is the amount of solution present in feed, and this concept, what is the solution which is present in this one, and what is the solution which is present in this one, and what is the solution which is present in this one. If we balance in such a way, only we can take care of A plus C, we can omit B, then only the material balance will be very, very easy. Otherwise, it will be very complex. So these units are also in kg per kg. There is no units for this one. Kg and kg will be cancelled. So then in the solvent, since this is also input, so this will be defined as R naught is equal to weight of solution which is present in the solvent phase. So weight of solution which is present in solvent phase means solution is nothing but solvent plus solute is nothing but solution. So I am writing this here. So these are the basics. So solution is equal to solvent plus solute. So here also we are referring R naught is equal to weight of the solution which is present in the solvent phase. So R naught is equal to weight of solution which is present in solvent phase means solvent plus solute is equal to solution. Then in order to take care about the solute composition, we are denoting here taking as X naught, which is weight fraction of solute in the solvent place, omitting or B free basis, taking out of B free basis. So A plus C, this is weight fraction of solute with respect to solution or B free basis. Then in order to take care of the inerts, N naught is equal to weight fraction or a weight ratio of inerts with respect to solution A plus C. So this is, so fraction, this is kg per kg, and this R naught will be in units of kg, and this is also in units of kg per kg. Then similarly in the solution case, okay, in the solution case, since this is the major product of our leaching operation, so we will throw this inerts maximum extent in the every industrial operation. So this inerts will be thrown down. In rare, very rare cases, like if you want to extract a protein from the soya bean, so what happens there? The protein, like whey powder, which is used for bodybuilding. So that type of production units, what they will do, the side products which are there inside in that soy seeds. So that will be they are throwing out. That soya oil will be throwing out. That is not a major product, but the soya meal is there. Whatever the meal they will get, that will be called as a high protein meal. That high protein will be meal will be used to synthesize this whey protein that is used by bodybuilders. But in the maximum cases, like in the oil extraction case, so oil will be the solution, will be the major concentration. Now this solution will be subjected to further purification like distillation, etc. Then oil and solvent will be separated. So this is the major product in leaching operation. To some extent, in rare cases only, this will be the major. So solution phase, this is solution phase. So here the nomenclature is, since this we are denoting with R or raffinate we can say. So this is raffinate or overflow. So this is R1, completion of one stage. So this is the output. So this is also weight of solution in solution phase or overflow phase or solvent rich phase. So this is called R1 is equal to weight of solution with A plus C. These units will be in kg. Then in order to take care about this one solute composition in the solution phase, so we will denote this as completion of one state, so x1. So here it is x0 due to it is input, and this is completion of one state, it will be x1. So x1 is equal to weight fraction of solute with respect to solution or B free basis. So B we are not at all taking into consideration. So kg per kg. Then the next nomenclature is this one. Notation is this one. N1. N is denoted for B, inert solids. So weight fraction or weight inert solids in solution place with respect to solution B by A plus C. So these units are also kg per kg. Then now this completed. Now the inert stream is there. So inert stream, in inert stream maximum amount of inert solids will be present. To some extent, there is a possibility of presenting this solids, solute content, as well as some solid can also be present here. So, in order to keep the convenience, this is also we are taking this stream as also solution phase only. So, this is extract phase we can call, inert stream phase we can call. This is also called as underflow phase. This is also called as solvent lean phase. So, this many terminologies we can use for this one. So, this one will be indicated with E1. So extract we are telling E1. So E1 is nothing but weight of solution in the inert stream phase. Solution meaning A plus C. Solvent plus solute is equal to solution. So these units will be kg. Then in order to take care how much amount of solute which is present in this inert stream, we have to indicate with, so this is feed, we are indicating with YF. This is output product. So Y1 we are indicating. So Y1 is equal to weight fraction of solute with respect to solution on a B free basis. So this will be kg per kg. Then in order to take care about this inert solids, so N1, so this is NF. Inert solids in the feed is NF. Inert solids in the extract stream or inert stream is nothing but N1. N1 is equal to weight of inert solids in extract phase with respect to solution A plus C. So kg per kg. So quickly I will summarize this one. See, first is solid is composed of B plus C, inert plus solute. But the major role here in the leaching operation is some external solvent has to come up and the product has to be A plus C. So here from our knowledge, our practical knowledge, what we can say, the amount of B in the field will remains same in the product also. So because of this, we have to omit wherever the B is there, we have to omit with respect to solution. The solution is our target. So solution is nothing but solvent plus solute. So in the feed itself, we are denoting with F, YF and NF. So what is this F, YF and NF? F is nothing but weight of solution which is present in feed. So solution, we can know that solvent plus solute is nothing but solution. So F, we can say weight of solution which is present in feed stream. So solution is A plus C, which will be in kg. Then YF is mole fraction on B-free basis. Mole fraction of solute in feed stream on B-free basis. B-free basis means we have to omit B. So YF is equal to C by A plus C. If you consider, if you not given the statement like B-free basis, what happens? YF is equal to C by A plus B plus C, because fraction means individual weight divided by total weight, or individual moles divided by total moles. But we have to omit B from inside this formula. So to do so, we are telling this is weight fraction of solute in feed stream, that too in a B-free basis. So because of this B-free basis, we are omitting B from the denominator. So YF is equal to C by A plus C. So C will be in kg, then A plus C solution will also be in kg. So kg we can cancel out. This will have no units. But for the convenience, for the technical or engineering convenience, we have to give units like this, kg per kg. We cannot cancel out this one. So we can give this one, kg of C per kg of A plus C, we can give like that. Then in order to account for the B, inert content which is there in the feed, this is weight ratio, I am saying. Remember, this is weight ratio, not the fraction. Okay, fraction means here A plus B plus C has to come. So this is weight ratio. Weight ratio of inerts in the feed stream. NF is equal to B by A plus C. So this will be B in kg of inert solids in the feed. So this will be in kg, and kg of solution in the feed. This will be in kg per kg. Then one more feed stream is this one. Solvent is also one input stream. So this is input stream. So we are denoting with R0. R0 is nothing but weight of or amount of solution which is present in the solvent stream. So amount we are saying, so its units will be kg. Amount of solution we are saying, solution means A plus C, solvent plus solute. So R0 is equal to A plus C. Then X0 is nothing but weight fraction of solute in solvent stream on B-free basis. X0 is equal to C by A plus C. So where B-free basis we are telling, this is also known as weight fraction on the B-free basis we can call, or weight ratio also we can call. Okay, two terminologies we can call. This is also same. Weight fraction of C on B-free basis we have to call. Then weight ratio of C we can call this one like that. So C by A plus C. So this units will be kg per kg. Then to account for the inert solids in the solvent stream, this is weight ratio of inert solids in the solvent stream. So N0, which is denoted by N0. N0 is equal to weight fraction of this inert solids in the solvent stream with respect to solution. So B by A plus C, whose units are kg per kg. Then the major product from this operation, leaching operation, is solution. Then we are denoting with R0 here. So this is completion of one stage operation. So because of this, we are telling this R1. We are indicating with R1. R1 is weight of solution present in the solution stream, or raffinate stream, or overflow stream, or solvent rich stream, we can say. Weight of solution. So weight of solution means solvent, summation of solvent by solvent is nothing but, solvent plus solute is nothing but weight of this solution. So this will be weight fraction of solute with respect to solution, or weight fraction of solute on B-free basis in the solution stream is denoted by, since this is X0, this is completion of one stage, this is X1. X1 is equal to weight fraction of solute on B-free basis with respect to solution. So C by A plus C. So this units will be kg per kg. Then next, to account for this is indicated by N1. Here N0 we are indicating, since this is completion of one stage, we are indicating with N1. N1 is equal to weight fraction or a weight ratio of inert solid with respect to solution in the solution stream. So this is N1 is equal to B by A plus C, whose units are kg per kg. Then the next major stream from the output stream from this leaching operation is inert stream, in which and solvent will be very low. Because of this, this is known as solvent lean stream or solvent less stream, or we can say extract stream, we can say, or underflow stream, we can say for this one. So since this is extract stream, we are saying, so E1 we are indicating its weight will be E1. So E1 is equal to weight of solution or overflow or extract stream. So weight we are saying, so weight of solution we are saying, solution is nothing but solvent plus solute A plus C, which will be in kg. Then this weight fraction of solute on B-free basis in the inert stream is this one, Y1. So Y1, this is YF, which is feed, and completion of one step, this is Y1 we are indicating. So Y1 is equal to C by A plus C, whose units will be kg per kg. Then in order to account for inert solids, we are taking N1. So this is NF, so indicates feed stream, and completion of one stage in the extract stream is known as this in N1. N1 is weight ratio of inerts in the inert stream. So N1 is equal to B by A plus C, whose units are kg per kg. So this is the nomenclature or a notation scheme, we can say. So this notation scheme, if you understand this notation scheme, the problem and this derivation entirely will be very, very, very easy. If you don't understand this one, this will be very, very complex one. You cannot derive equations also. Solution of problem is secondary, but you cannot derive problems. Yes, Ravi?
We used N1 notation for both solution and extract weight ratio.
Okay. Yes. Different notations we have written. X1, this one we can say NR we can give. No problem. NR we can give. But in the maximum cases for your problem, this will not be there. This will be 0. For ideal case, we are dealing only for ideal case. So this will be 0. We can take NR also from there. Okay, this notation scheme, if you are clear, anybody please having doubt, you can just ask me now itself, because once we get into the derivation and problem, this notation scheme I will directly use without saying this is F is equal to A plus C or pi F is equal to C by A plus C. This you have to remember. If the conceptually, if you understand that one, B we have to omit in every notation scheme, then this will be very, very, very easy. Otherwise, every time you will take B also in the consideration for the fraction or for ratios, everything you will take. So just understand that F is only A plus C we are taking solution. Solution part only we are concentrating, because the solution is our major product in the leaching operation. So if you understand this notation scheme, it is okay. Then in the next unit also, in the extraction, similar notation scheme will be there with a small twist. So if you understand this one, that will be also easy. I will say some shortcut methods for that. If anybody is having any doubt or anybody needs the explanation, one more explanation, you can just ask me, since this is very important. Is it okay? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one only I have given in the slides itself. If you see this one, F is equal to A plus C, and here also R naught we are taking A plus C, and X naught we are taking A plus C. Sorry, I have not written here N naught. So you can write this one on the slides itself. So NF and N1. So usually what happens in the problems of something, so this NF and N1 will be present to large extent, but many a times this solvent will be a pure solvent. For the pure solvent, there is no role for this X naught, and N naught also there is no role. And in the maximum cases, the solution stream will also be only composed of A plus C only. There will be a very limited case in which some inert solids will be there. So because of that, I have not written this NR or something. If you want, you can take. In the special cases only, they will give that type of problems. That will be very complex to calculate. So this one, the notation scheme will be clear. So now this I have written clearly here. What is F? F is amount of solution, meaning solution is solute plus solvent in the feed stream. So A plus C. Then YF is weight fraction of solute on B-free basis. So if you don't give this one on B-free basis, you have to include A plus B plus C here. So when it is giving as B-free basis means you have to omit B from the denominator. So in the feed stream, this is F. So because of this is feed stream. Then NF is the weight ratio of inert solids in the feed stream. So this is NF is equal to B by A plus C. Then R naught is amount of solvent and solute in the solvent phase, or we can say amount of solution in the solvent phase. So this is R naught is equal to A plus C. Then X naught is equal to weight fraction of solute on B-free phases. So this is very important, on B-free basis present in solvent stream. So this stream weight fraction of solute with omitting B. Then E1, the next stream is this one, E1. E1 is amount of solution, we can say, or solvent plus solute in underflow or in leached solids or inert solid phase or in solvent lean phase or in inert solid phase. Like that we can say all the stream indicate the same one. So E1. Then Y1 is weight fraction of solute on B-free basis in underflow, this one, Y1. Then N1 is weight ratio of inert solid in the underflow. N1 is equal to B by A plus C. Then R1 is this one, raffinate phase or overflow phase or solution phase or solvent rich phase, all are same. So R1 is amount of solution, nothing but solvent plus solute, A plus C in the overflow. Then X1 is weight fraction of solute on B-free basis in the overflow. This one, X1 is equal to C by A plus C. So this is the notation scheme. Now we will see how to derive these useful equations in single stage operation. This entire operation is known as single stage operation. If you understand this single stage operation, it will be very convenient to go for cross current multi-stage operation, counter current multi-stage operation. So this one.
Sir, besides here, one option is there no for unrestricted.
Yes, somebody saying something.
Nothing, sir.
Ravi.
Besides share, one option is there no sir, right side of share.
This one, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is for full screen. Yeah, this is for full screen. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now the material balance we will conduct on this one. So I forget how to use this OneNote also because 1 month gap.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the overall material balance we will see. The first one is overall solution balance. Solution means you have to remember this is A plus C. Overall solution balance. So solution for overall solution balance we are conducting. So we can say that input stream is equal to output stream because at steady state we are conducting and without chemical reaction we are conducting. So material balance will be input is equal to output. So what are the inputs here? Input is one is feed stream, a feed stream of solids, and another one is feed stream for the solvent. So feed stream of solid is F. So this is for solution. F is equal to A plus C. We already know that one. So F plus input of solvent is for the solution is R naught. F plus R naught is equal to output streams are this one stream and this one stream. So solution is R1. So this means R1. R1 is A plus C. We already know this one. Plus. So one more stream is E1. So E1 is also for solution indication. So F plus R naught is equal to R1 plus E1. This is overall solution balance. Then this solute balance. So when I am saying solute means you have to remember its notation scheme. Solute is indicated with C. Solute balance. So how to conduct this solute balance? Same input is equal to output. So by just if you derive this one, if you can able to derive this one, F plus R naught is equal to R1 plus E1. So everything will be just a simplification. The solute balance means if you see only we are considering this C only here. So C doesn't have a separate notation scheme here. So we have to take some notation scheme only here. So if you see this one, for example, F is equal to, we know A plus C. And if you multiply something which will have a denominator as A plus C, then it will be cancelled out and left out will be only C balance. So this is already we know this is F, and this entire equation is known as YF. So YF is C by A plus C for the feed stream or input stream. So because of this convenience, we will denote the same steps we have performed in distillation also. So this one F into YF. So here YF, then here R naught into, for the solute it is X naught plus R naught into X naught. Then it is R1 into, for the solute this is X1 plus E1, for the solute it is Y1. So this is equation 2. Then next one is a solvent balance. So we have to conduct solvent balance. Solvent means you have to remember this one, A. Solvent balance. Now if you have a solvent balance, our notation scheme is defined. Okay, our notation scheme is defined in such a way that only solution will be there. Solution means A plus C. Already know. So when you have to define for solvent means we can omit solute from this one. From overall solution, if you omit solution, the left out will be only solvent. So it is very simple this one. So F is A plus C. Then YF means fraction of solute which is present in the feed stream. So fraction, some of the fractions of solute plus fractions of solvent is 1 only. So we can write here 1 minus YF. So this is solvent. This is only YF is solute. So for this type of convenience only, this notation scheme will be defined in like that. So this is input in raffinate or a solvent stream is equal to R naught into 1 minus X naught is equal to R1 into 1 minus X1 plus E1 into 1 minus Y. So this is equation 3. So this will be like this. From, if you see this equation 2, from equation 2, if you take this one, y into f into yf plus r naught into x naught is equal to R1 into X1 plus E1 into Y. Okay, when this feed, okay, feed is nothing but input is just interacting with output. Okay, interacting with output. What happens? Some equilibrium which will reach. Some equilibrium or some midpoint it will reach or some mixed point it will reach. So in order to give that convenience, so this one also from equation 1 also, so F plus R naught is equal to R1 plus E1. So when this input and output are just mixing, input and output, so whatever the two streams are mixing, it will reach at some midpoint or some we can say mixed point. So because of this convenience, this to output is equal to input is equal to some middle point we are denoting M1 as giving as M1. So this will be a modified equation of 1. Then this also same. So Fyf plus R naught X naught is equal to R1 X naught plus E1 Y1. This is equal to M1. So in order to account for the C, it will be denoted with Ym1. So this will be the modification for this equation 2. So 2 prime, equation 2 prime we can say. Why? Because they will reach equilibrium. Reaching the equilibrium is the must and should part for any type of mass transfer operation. So mass equilibrium, they have to reach that. So from this equation, we can define what is Ym1. So from this equation, F into Yf is equal to R naught into X naught is equal to, we can just equate this one and this one, M1 into Ym1. So Ym1 is equal to F into Yf plus R naught divided by M1. This is one important equation. Which
R naught into
is,
X naught, sir.
yes, Ravi.
R naught into X
R
naught, sir.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So R naught into X naught. So this is one equation. Equation 2, 3, and 4. And this, if you say this one, so Ym1 is equal to F into Yf plus R naught into X naught. So M1 meaning, so this one, see, M1 is equal to this one and M1 is also equal to this one. We can write from equation 1 prime, M1 is equal to F plus R naught. This is also equal to Y into F into Yf plus R naught into X naught divided by this also R1 plus E1. So this is also one equation. Then for the solute, for this inert solids, we have to define one equation. So that is Nm1. After crossing first midpoint or a first stage, the amount of B which is left is denoted by Nm1 is equal to B by M1. Okay, this is by definition. We have to define in that way. So this is Nm1 is equal to B by M1. So this is, we can write equal to B by M1 is equal to, from this equation, F plus R naught is also equal to B by R1 plus E1. These equations are very important. Okay, is that okay for the material balance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the same one I have defined here. So the first equation which we had derived for the overall solution is F plus R naught is equal to E1 plus R1 is at some midpoint, it is just contacting, so M1. Then Fyf, so this is for solute balance. So this is we are equating with M1 into Ym1. Then we are calculating from these two equations, we are calculating this one Ym1, and by definition we are taking that Nm1 accountability for the inerts as B by M1. So this M1 is also equal to this 2 from that equation. So these are the popular equations. You have to remember this one. If you remember this one, you can go to the next step. How to find out other unknown composition. Usually in any type of mass transfer operation or any type of industrial operation, inputs are all inputs are known. Only not knowns are the outputs, whether they can give outputs or not. Okay, if they there are only 4 streams in this leaching operation. So okay, this stream is there, this stream is there, this stream is there, this stream is there. So this is input, this is input, this is output. So there is no obligation to provide this. There is obligation in every unit operation, means they have to provide input, but there is no obligation on in any problem that they have to provide at least one input, at least one output. Okay, they can provide this one or they cannot provide this one. When they don't provide, when they provide any one output, so if you say output 1 they are providing, so by material balance we can calculate output 2. When they are not providing output 1 and output 2, output 1 and output 2 they are not providing, then what we have to do, we have to use some graphical method to calculate that one. So they have to provide some equilibrium data, so then we can use some suitable graphical method for that one, and we can evaluate using the graphical. So we will see how to evaluate these equations using the graphical methods when there is no data, there is no output data they have given. So in the problem, one thing is when they are not giving the output data, they have to give equilibrium data. Equilibrium data, we already know that one. Equilibrium data is X versus Y data they have to give it. So if they have given this equilibrium data and together, this for the distillation, this equilibrium data is enough. But here what happens, they have to give the data, one more data is N also they have to give. N means nothing but accountability by the B. They have to give for this one. So X and Y is nothing but accountability for the solute. This is N is accountability for the inert solids. So first thing what we have to do is, first we have to draw. This is the step-to-step procedure that is given in textbook as well as your notes also. You can see that one. So the first step in this criteria is draw. Steps I am writing. So first step is draw N versus X comma Y. So how you can draw? So N versus, this is X comma Y. You have to draw like this. So in usual case, what it will happen? This N versus Y will be coming like this. So this is called N versus Y. In the case where the output stream, like the main product stream, solution stream, will not have the inert solids, in that case, this x-axis itself will be called as N versus X. In the maximum case for your problems, maximum case, this will be the N versus X case. Then only it will easy to solve the problem. Otherwise, when there is other data for N versus X also, that curve will be coming like this. So it will be very complex. So for the convenience, for the ideal case convenience, they are giving for you this as N versus X. So you have to draw this one. N versus X means you have to draw separately N versus X and draw the curve, and N versus Y, then draw the curve. So this is the procedure. Then next one, draw the here distribution curve, we can say, or equilibrium curve, which is we are saying in distillation. Here popularly it will be known as distribution curve. So distribution curve means there is some distribution between two phases. Here the two phases, one is raffinate phase and another one is extract phase. But in the distillation, one is the top phase and the bottom phase. One is the more volatile phase, one is the residue phase. Like this we have defined them. So here it will be distribution phase. So to the connecting this graph, so double graphs we have to evaluate here. So this is not that much easy as discussed in distillation. So we have to carefully follow this one. So another graph which is at the bottom of this N versus XY graph, we have to draw with the same x-axis. Okay, same what we say, same length of this x-axis as such, we have to draw this one. So this will be y versus x, or x versus y. So this will be the distribution curve. Distribution diagram, and when you draw this one, you will be getting this one like this, distribution curve. So same one, so diagonal will be there for the distribution or equilibrium curve, diagonal will be there. So this top one is a, so this is distribution curve, and this is diagonal line. So this will be there like this. Then now what you have to do is, so the first you drawn this n versus y and n versus x, then you have to draw this distribution curve. Now you have to locate the 3 points. Okay, what are these? Point F. Okay, point F. So what is this feed? Will be this one of x, we can say. We say this one YF. Yeah. So feed will be this y, comma NF. So this point, and next point is R0 point. R0 point will be at x0, comma n0. Then the next point will be this one, m1 point. M1 point will be at ym1, comma nm1. So these are the 3 points which we have to keep handy this data. So first you can locate like this. So YF and NF, where this point is coming. N is in the y-axis and YF is y is in this axis. When you just see that points, what happens? It will come somewhere here. So this you have to denote with F point. Then x0 value, the values of x0 are already known. So since these are inputs, you can know this one. So x0 and n0 will be given in the data. So that r0 will be at this point. So x0, x-axis is this one, and y-axis, this is n0, will be located on that one. So now you have to do is join these 2 points. Join this F and Y. So draw the distribution curve, then locate. Next step will be locate this point F and R0. So this will be next step. Then fourth step will be join F and R0 with the line, with the straight line you have to join. When you join this line, so after that you have to evaluate this point. So this is also ym1, nm1. It will be known, or otherwise you have to calculate using the derived formulas. So ym1, y will be this axis and nm1 will be this axis. So it will be coming on this region only, on this straight line of f and r0 only. This at this point only it will be coming. So this will be m1. So usually you have to see whether that point is falling on this line or not. If this is not falling on this line, that is incorrect line. Some data you are calculating wrong. So usually it will be coming in this line only. So then the next step will be locate point M1. So point M1 coordinates we have given here. So then draw the tie line. So tie line. So tie line from this point you have to draw. So tie line, how can you draw? So this one, see. So tie line you have to draw like this. So tie line, when you draw like this point will be known as R1 and this point will be known as E1. Okay, how to draw this tie line? How can we know that this is the angle of this line? Okay, how can we know that with respect to x and y, how this angle is making? So to do this, we have to perform a guess, trial and error method. So trial and error method is starts like this. So first you have to guess some value of x. So you have to guess some value of x. Then you have to project this value of x up to the equilibrium or distribution curve. So after projecting up to the distribution curve, you have to once again draw the horizontal line up to the diagonal line. So when this diagonal, once again, this diagonal needs to be projected on the top side, okay, up to the n versus y. So if this point, this joining point forms at this point, so that will be your true tie line. Your guess value is correct. If they, see, this is not falling on this one. This point is coming at this place. So our guess is not correct. So we have to move away, or you have to move somewhat to the move away or somewhat to the external side. If you guess this point like this, it will be vertical line you have to draw up to the equilibrium curve, then horizontal line up to the diagonal. These points you have to take. So point is moving in this direction. You come to know that you have to choose something point like here. So this point you have to draw up to the equilibrium curve, then you have to draw here. Then this point, if you take like this, it will exactly go here. So trial and error method only you can perform here to know that points are matching or not. Using that points only you have to draw this tie line. So drawing the tie line is very important, because wherever your true line, if you consider this as your true tie line, so this true tie line, where it touches, this equilibrium curve touches here, this is known as y1 composition of solute in the y1 stream means this one, extract stream, and where it touches in the x-axis, this is known as x1 composition of solute in the raffinate phase. Like this we have to calculate. So the points I am writing once again. So the sixth step will be after locating point M1, draw the tie lines. Draw tie line passing through point M1 with the help of, this is important, with the help of distribution curve. Distribution curve, and read N1 from N versus 1. Okay, similarly this tie line, so you can read N1 also, you can read from there. X1 and Y1 also you can read from the distribution curve. Okay, note down X1, Y1. And the next 8th point is we have to note this x1 and y1. After noting this one, we know this material balance formulas. E1 is equal to B by N1, and F is equal to F plus R0 is equal to E1 plus R1. Using these two formulas, you can calculate unknowns. Unknown values you can calculate using this. So this completes one stage operation. This is very important, because in the next, when you are calculating for the next multi-stage operation, using this only you can define this as one stage. For next stage, if you add this one, the next stage will be coming stage 2, stage 3, as we just denoted in earlier case, like in the distillation, it will also be coming. But here, two graphs simultaneously you have to operate. So this is the case. If you understand this one, can I know you understand this one, or once again I have to explain?
Yes, sir, I understood, but while choosing the R1 and E1.
During problem you can understand. One problem we will
Yes,
do.
sir. Yes.
Yeah. Shall we do now, or we can stop?
Next class we will do.
We will do, or next class we will do?
Next class we can do, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I have taken 6 more minutes extra.